Hi, good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. I think this is the first thing that we should say at the beginning of our program. It's 2025, finally. A year that probably we all gonna remember. This is Space Junkie Takeover on What About It Plus channel, and I am Szabi, and I've got David here with me. Hi, David. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone, and I wish all of you happy New Year as well. And yeah, this year gonna be quite exciting. Even if the half of the plans will be happening, then I guess we can we can be very lucky. So yeah, I'm good, and I was looking forward to return on this channel because it's all the time. It's good to be here, even if my English is not so good as Sabi's English, but I try to do my best. And
This
uh,
year is the year of improvement as well, huh?
yeah, for me and for SpaceX as well, right?
Don't worry, we all learned this beautiful language, and we already, in advance, we apologizing for our language barrier. But hopefully, you are going to enjoy the show. Let's start with how the year is going to kick off, and if we can show our beautiful infographics. I found it somewhere on the internet, and I'm sorry, I should know, but I completely forgot who's the creator of this beautiful render. But I mean, hey, we've got quite a start. Bit of delay already, but two huge vehicles, one first flight, first maiden flight of New Glenn, Blue Origin's New Glenn.
Finally.
Finally, yes, after the long wait. And also, we've got Starship, the Flight 7. We are going to get into details with Flight 7 a little bit later on. But let's just start a little bit with New Glenn because this is a fascinating rocket, and a 98-meter tall
Mhm.
rocket. This is not a small cake at all. This is huge rockets, and hopefully, they are going to give an attempt to land the first stage right at the very first start, to the drone ship called Jacqueline. And I mean, there is a debate in within the community that is Starship much further, or if New Glenn is successful for the first launch and not just putting the payload right into the correct orbit, which is again a very interesting question. Where is he going to? Because I heard rumors it's a cislunar, um, what is it called, flight trajectory, and the blue ring might going towards the moon, which is again, I don't know how much of a speculation that is, but it's fascinating.
I read something else, but I don't want to interrupt you. Just
Yeah, go on, go on.
because of course, who else than Scott Melly was talked about or read about some
Speculator.
speculated. Yes, the main Mister Speculator, and he was just going through a thread with Alex from NSF, and they were just accepted that maybe that's a MEO, so the middle Earth orbit,
Hmm.
so not Leo and not a geostationary trajectory, but in the middle. Yeah, as the name
Middle Earth
says,
orbit. Yeah.
it's a middle height trajectory, and that's because of the FCC license. They think so that it's gonna be a MEO trajectory, but of course we will see it
Hmm.
hopefully this Friday. But yeah,
Hmm.
of course, as always, in case of a brand new first flight of a rocket, yeah, the delays it's in the game. So
Um, just going back towards the to the topic of the going to the moon or not. Vulcan's first launch was actually a lunar mission, wasn't it?
right, yeah, with
So that wouldn't be unheard of that a new rocket's maiden flight is actually
mm,
launching something towards the moon. So it's not with without the realm of possibilities. Um, but yeah, we will see. Obviously, Blue Origin. I would compare Blue Origin's communication, public communication, very similar to China's, because they share very minimal information about about the rocket. I heard something very interesting. I would like to mention that during the static fire test that we've seen not too long ago with the New Glenn rockets, they actually completely filled the tanks, just like with Falcon 9. And that's very interesting because here we always talk about Starship, and we know that with static fire tests, they don't really fill the tanks fully with with the booster or the ship in the case of these stages, but they do with the New Glenn. So
Yeah,
that's some.
they have done a weathers rehearsal as well, and
Mhm.
actually at the end of the weathers rehearsal, it was a static fire as well.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But that's not something that we are ever going to see with Starship because they never gonna do a full veterans rehearsal and then doing
It's a
a
different
full
approach, so
static fire.
it's up to them.
No, I love it. It's versatile. I really dig it. So yeah. So at the moment, so at the beginning, the date of the New Glenn launch was 6th of January. Then they pushed it to 8th of January, and at the moment, it looks like these two giants are planned to be launched on the same day, January the 10th. But the big question mark uh, is New Glenn going to be launched? And if Flight 7 is going to be launched? Because at the moment, it looks a bit interesting. We have Ship 33 exactly nowhere. Definitely not on top of booster
Yeah, it's
14.
both of the launches have small, big question mark or a lot of small question marks around them. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think so. At least one of the rockets won't be launched this week. That's oh, yeah. I don't know, but I think so that that at least New Glenn will be delayed until next week. And so far, what we have seen in the last days of at the Starbase, maybe the Flight 7 will be delayed for next week as well,
Hmm.
because yeah, as you mentioned, Ship 33 is still hiding in the Mega Bay 2, and actually, yeah, maybe they have just loaded these Starlink simulators just today,
Hmm.
and that's why Ship 33 didn't roll out yet. But yeah, we don't want to go into the details so fast. We will catch up, and of course, we will talk about what have been what's happened actually in the next sorry, the last days around Starbase. And yeah, and of course, because SpaceX was so nice to share with us the Flight 7 plans, of course we will going through them. And yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
let's start.
we can start
Let's
with it. I
let's
think that's
start.
the
Let's
most
start with
exciting.
Flight 7. Yeah. So on SpaceX.com, anybody can publicly see the shared sort of information regarding Flight 7, and we found a beautiful infographics which has all the planned actions. So that's from I hope I say the name right, Vikrant Jonah. Thank you for sharing it on X. That's a more slimmer version, but we made a different version, so you can see the details more in more details. Um, right. So this is not just a copy paste of the previous flight.
Hmm.
It's gonna be a hybrid of Flight 5 and Flight 6 because the hybrid, I mean, hopefully we're gonna have the booster catch, and I'm gonna just zoom on that for the
Yeah, there
beginning.
will be some recurring items or events, but of course the main difference is the new generation Starship or ship second
Yep.
stage introduction. But yeah, first with the booster once we are here. Sorry. So they try, of
No, no,
course,
no.
to
Let's no,
catch.
no. Let's do the difference because that's
Okay.
more important. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, we have talked about, I don't know in which show, but we have talked about the main difference between the Block 1 and Block 2 starships, so we don't want to go into the details again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just the main and most important things, and of course, as you can see, the Block 2 ships are a bit longer with one ring. The forward flaps has been rearranged, so their position and are totally different, and of course the size and the weight and the width is different, so they have quite changed a lot about the forward flap. as you can see, the propellant volume has been increased with 25%, so it's quite a huge difference. But rumor has it that they won't load the ship 33
fully.
entirely in
Mhm.
fully, because they don't require yet the entire propellant volume.
Mhm.
But yeah, we will see hopefully on Friday how they will load the propellant. Then maybe one of
Maybe
the most right,
we just
right.
missed it that it's gonna be the same sort of being launched from
Mhm.
Starbase and going to land in the Indian Ocean,
Yeah.
hopefully with buoy cam and as we saw at Flight 6 with a drone cam as well. They surprised us. I don't know what's next. They're gonna live broadcast it from a satellite or I don't know, but probably that's the
From
next step.
another ship.
I don't know, but they always come up with something totally new. So we are looking forward to it.
Yeah, so it still won't be an orbital flight. It will be still a suborbital flight, but yeah, that's because safety reason. Because as we mentioned, it's a entirely new block or generation with new systems, and SpaceX wants to check everything, whether everything is running okay. And as Elon mentioned as well, after the Flight 6 already, that if this Flight 7, so the ship 33 will manage to land, in apostrophe land or Kuwait land on the Indian Ocean, quite at the point where they want to, then the Flight 8, so the next flight will be already an orbital flight.
I guess it's not just the landing, but they are validating this new design, the Block 2 design,
Hmm.
because of the forward flap, that the aft flap, so the bottom flaps are they not changed.
No,
They are the same. So if the length and change, and obviously with the new forward flaps are doing well and it's controllable, and I'm sure it will be all right, but they need to check it. That's the main reason why they are not going orbit yet in Flight 7, because originally that was the plan, that Flight 7 is not a suborbital flight anymore, but it looks like, and I think that's the right step to validate this new design. Absolutely.
yeah, and as you can see on the top right corner, there will be that's a recurring item. I mean the Raptor relight. And as we have seen on Flight 7, Flight 6, sorry, it worked quite nice. But since this Block 2 version Starship has changed a bit about the whole propellant system and the Raptor feeding system,
Mhm.
let's say, then that's why they want to first check and test the entire propellant system and the Raptor reignition test, and that's why they don't try to go into orbit, because if they if they can't relight the Raptor, then it would be a big trouble.
Yep. And let's not forget that this is not aluminium like the shuttle. This is stainless steel. If things go wrong, then a big chunk of it will survive the re-entry. And if it's uncontrolled, if it re-enters wherever, that's not a risk SpaceX can take. So yeah,
Yeah.
we would like to see Starship on orbit, but this is the right approach. Let's build it up bit by bit, and yes, I'm good.
Right, and
Um,
yeah,
Probably
you can see some graphics about the Starlink downlink, but maybe it's not so important.
the,
Yeah, and
for us
one
it is, because that's the visibility of how we going
yeah,
to enjoy the show.
it's for the
Very
show, right?
important, but for them it's, yeah, there are more important things
Yeah,
for sure.
there are more important details, so that's why I just wanted to skip it. But yeah, one of the main
Hmm.
goal and main and most important thing, that first in the lifetime they reuse a Raptor, and it's a quite huge step. And that's because they could of course take back or yeah, the booster 12 managed to successfully coming back, as you remember. And that's why they thought so that they will use, I guess, exactly the Raptor 314. That's because I remember from the PI, so 314, but the serial number 314 Raptor will be reused on this flight, and it's a quite huge milestone.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a quite huge news because there wasn't any plan, or we haven't heard about any rumor about it that they want to reuse a Raptor engine, but they reuse now.
Mm-hmm.
And when if we going to the right a bit, there is one more big difference. Yeah, I meant the Starlink simulators, then top and the right a bit
Mm-hmm.
from the Raptor reignition reuse. Sorry. So that's another one a big change compared to the previous flights. Then finally, Starship will have actually a normal payload, and I say normal because maybe you remember there was one banana in the payload bay of the in the ship 31, but of course we can't measure it as a normal payload. But
So
now
are you saying that this is fake, and Chiquita is falsely stocking up with? It's
that's the
not true then.
flight 8
Okay. Okay.
payload.
Okay. That was misleading a little bit.
Yeah. So yes, SpaceX thought so that finally there is time to, or it's time to finally test the payload
Hmm.
dispenser,
Um,
nickname pace dispenser.
there is a question regarding this in the chat. So,
Okay.
Philip Cornell is asking, "Hello guys, how can they put the mass simulator and the dispenser into the ship at the stage of completeness via cutting or welding or through the pass dispenser door?" It's already in there
Mhm.
by the completion, and they just need to put the Starlinks
Yeah.
one by one.
So
So that, yeah.
starting with S30, they have already put inside or built in already all of the pass dispensers or payload dispensers. So, or maybe from S29, I'm not sure anymore, but it's already inside what we
What?
can make sure.
How come you're not sure? I'm joking. Um,
And of course,
I got.
because of this Starlink, the simulators and even the normal V3 versions of the Starlink satellites will be very flat, and that's why they can just load inside or into the dispenser, because there is a quite small payload door, but it's big enough to just go through the with the Starlink the satellites with it.
Mhm.
And
This is from Ring Watchers, and
yeah.
there are quite a few stuff. Again, we're not gonna go into the details because it's impossible to match Ring Watchers. Please read the full article because it's full of nitty-gritty details. But they changed the whole door mechanism. For instance, you see here, this is the Block One version,
Mhm.
and they completely change it over. I think this mechanism, if I'm correct.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it wasn't working too pretty at the time when they have tested it.
yeah. So this is the old door from outside. This is the old door from inside. And we've got some photos with the new door. This is from outside. This is not, this is huge, by the way. And this is the new mechanism, and they actually marked it properly there. So
Mhm.
they are changing the door opening mechanism. Is it because it didn't work? Yes, probably that's the reason. They could open it up, but they could not shut it.
Yeah, the
So
closing wasn't too smooth.
problematic. Let's just say that it
Yes.
was mildly problematic, but hopefully they are now tackling this problem, and we are going to see or not visually, because we were just discussing before we were coming to air that it's the coastal phase is gonna be at nighttime. So they're gonna be in Earth shadow. So probably I don't know how we can visually see the Starlink simulator deployment. Let's hope they're gonna find out some sort of camera system.
I think somehow SpaceX can manage it.
Actually, they have how many new cameras? They have quite a few new cameras. Probably
Yeah,
I
lots
asked
of
again.
lots of new cameras. Yeah,
Hmm.
or yeah, they just put a flashlight on the on
Yep,
the ship.
exactly. Well, I mean,
Why
they
not?
were already showing the banana in the under the payload door, so I'm sure that we will see from inside how
Yeah,
he's going to get, moved towards the outside.
yeah. And last but not least, there is one more big improvement or big test
Hmm.
for the heat tiles or heat shield because, as Elon mentioned, this will be or this should be the year when SpaceX can somehow or and finally manage this big problematic and question mark to be answered about the reusable heat shield because as far as we knew, these heat ties worked not too good. And if SpaceX wants to reuse somewhere and somehow the Starship, then these heat tiles and the heat shield, the entire heat shield has to be even more and even more strength and of course reusable. And currently these pin styles are not so reusable, and that's why SpaceX wants to test an entirely new system. We don't, of course we don't know how much or how many tiles will be active cooling
I
system.
think one there will be
All
one
in one.
tile on
Hmm.
this one. Yeah, that's
Okay.
gonna be a steel tile with active
Metallic.
cooling.
It's a
Metallic. Yeah, sorry,
metallic
metallic tile.
tile,
Yeah,
metallica.
Metallica. Yeah.
Yeah.
And oops, I'm sorry. I think I closed my. Oops, I'm sorry. I will reopen it in a second. The photo viewer. Yes. But yes, there will be a few. Sorry, there's some technical glitch. There will be one tile.
Mhm.
That's gonna be like that. Yeah. There we go. Sorry.
Yeah, actually, so that these tile or tiles will have the ability to do an active cooling to provide an alternate material for the reentry.
Hmm.
And yeah, we will see if it works or not. But hopefully it works because otherwise SpaceX has to has to worry about, or not has to, but starts to worry about the heat shield because
Yeah.
that's the one last big question mark the entire Starship development program, how they can manage the reusable heat shield. And if they can solve it and they find a solution, then yeah, actually they can they can just lean back a bit.
To be fair, if you think about it, it's not about the ship is going to be reusable because uh, we don't know the scale of damage that much. I mean, we do to a certain extent because at the end of flight six, we saw some footage of the landing ship, the ship 31, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and it was obviously a bit charred, but how big the damage on the tiles is a big question mark. But
Right.
it's not about if it's reusable because if they catch it, then it will be intact and they just change the tiling and that's it. It's about fast and rapid
Mhm.
reusability. So it's
Right.
not just about reusable. It will be reusable, but they want it if it becomes a regularity, if it happens really fast, so you don't need to do some sort of um, space shuttles type called
No, they
maintenance.
want they don't want to play this game again.
No, 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 no,
What
no.
NASA has done in that days.
I mean, they won't because we saw how they can retile a whole ship. I mean, like a month's time. But if they need to change some, probably they can do it in a week or two. So it definitely not gonna be a space shuttle type sort of scenario. But still, they want to make it way much faster than that. Comes back, refueling, and
Mm,
it goes again.
yeah,
And
like an
then
airplane.
exactly, exactly. Also, just worth mentioning, there will be some smart batteries on the ship, and then one more thing: there will be a pin, a catching pin. they're gonna put it on and they will see how it degrades. I think that's
Do
again,
they?
I've seen it on somebody's video.
But it's
That
for S. It's ship 35 already, I
is it?
guess.
Is it?
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
think I think, and if I'm correct, then or the place is already put
There.
or already prepared on ship 33 as
Okay.
well. But the catching pins won't be installed yet. But the
Gotcha.
place of them will be already or has been already prepared.
Mm-hmm.
But they, of course, they don't want to make so big difference in the last days, and that's why they don't install these catching pins yet. But
Mm-hmm.
if as far as I know, on ship 35, so on flight 6 second stage, they are already installed,
Mm-hmm.
because
Okay.
because ship 35 is currently built in the Mega Bay 2, so the nose cone and the payload bay is already welded together, and they are going for the forward methane tank already. So that's why they are already at the stage where we could see the nose cone and the payload door welded together, and that's why
Gotcha.
we could see these catching pins already installed.
Mm-hmm. Uh, Thank you, Gort from Ort. Sorry, I'm butchering your name. Refurbish was the word I was looking for. Indeed. Thank you.
And once we are here at Gord from Ort, sorry, he had two
Mhm.
questions previously. We can
Okay, go
we
for it.
can answer them
Go for it.
quickly. So the first one, what is the weather forecast for the two launches? I just have seen or just checked the Boca Chica weather, and they are they if the forecast for Friday is quite 50-50. So at the AM will be some showers, but the PM will be quite nice. And once Starship will be launched in the afternoon, so around any PM time, then maybe we can be positive about the Friday launch. Saturday looks even better, mostly sunny, but the Sunday and until next Thursday, so the 16th of January is very bad. Showers all the time.
Mhm.
So that's maybe if SpaceX can't launch Starship this Friday on Saturday, maybe we have to wait until next Friday, and it won't be good for us.
That
And
won't, well,
yeah, in case of Florida, I don't know, but Florida weather, maybe we know about it, and
mhm.
it's changing all the time. So maybe they can't just forecast it.
Well, it's 4 days ahead, so probably it's too early to say anything about the forecast.
Yeah.
Probably.
Anyway,
Ah,
the
yeah.
second question was, did they replace the nozzle on the Raptor engine that they are reflying? Many nozzles got wrapped on B12 re-entry. It's a good question. I don't know.
Mhm. um. Okay. Right. Probably if there is no further question, then let's crack on with yeah, with some improve. I don't, did we miss anything regarding Flight 7?
I checked my list, but I think we have
I
included
think.
everything we wanted.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I
mostly.
definitely expect uneventful launch. We will see this new engine that's reused now from Booster 12. If that goes out, then if one engine goes out, then we know probably that's the one. um, but I was just thinking about it. This is actually for SpaceX comfortable. I mean, it's a it's a comfortable situation because they are testing anyway, and they are in the situation that they can just use a previous engine, so don't need to risk a whole booster with refurbished engines, but they can just just test and see how it's gonna perform after a flight and after most importantly a re-entry. So I think they are doing it very smartly, and that's why so many people have so much faith in the Starship program because
And
it's smartly
so,
going forward. Hmm.
And once there was a static fire and it was successful with booster 14, that's why SpaceX thinks so that this reuse Raptor will do its job.
Hmm.
And because of course, if they could see some bad data around that engine, of course they would have just not changed. What's the word of
Swapped.
swapped? Right,
Hmm.
swapped. They would have swapped it. But yeah, so far we haven't
Yeah.
seen any Raptor swap,
Hmm.
so that's why we could be positive around this reused Raptor as well.
Yep. Yep. Jason Schmidt or Schmidt.
Schmidt. Yeah.
Yeah, in a German way. Um, a metal tile at re-entry velocity prediction corrosion on the tile. Possibly, but let's not forget that SpaceX is not the only company who's experimenting towards this direction. Stoke Space is actually building a second
Mm-hmm.
stage that is going to use an actively cooled plate as well. So the whole bottom of the re-entry vehicle is just clean metallic surface with active cooling, and that's actually a very cool design. So with no heat tile whatsoever,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how rapidly reusable they are planning their own vehicle, but
That's why
probably
they test.
probably that's the way forward. Who knows? Definitely. One thing is sure. It looks like we need to go away from the heat tile solution. That
Mm-hmm.
small, tiny heat tiles, so many of them. It's a little bit recipe for disaster. It's a temporary solution, but on the long run, they need to come up with something, I don't know, different.
Yeah, if they want to reuse the starships much time, I don't know how many times, maybe
Yep.
hundreds of times, then this heat tiles solution is not the best.
Indeed, indeed. Yep, yep. Stoke is a very interesting design.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Okay.
Promising.
Let's see what's going on at Starbase, because we used to do so sort of covering what's going on at Starbase in terms of development. We're not gonna go very much into detail because I mean we've got Felix on the main channel and he's covering everything in high detail. So I think he's
Much
doing it
better than us.
exactly. So we don't need to even give it a try. But just to paint a bold picture, let's see Sanchez first. We got some crazy good photos from RGV Aerial. He shared it on X, and this is the new platform for Pad B.
Right. So they are building this entire new platform or table, launch table, quite a long time. I don't know how many months, but maybe half year already. So, but yeah, we can see some new elements on the top of it, and that's these are the parts of the new cooling plate, because there won't be like a system like the current pad A. It will be totally different, and because this will be the top of the OLM, that will be just impacting, or that this will have the impact of the booster and better to say the Raptors, and that's why it has to be cooled with water. And so that will be actually this inverse inverse, how to say, inverse shower head like
Hmm.
at the bottom of the pad A currently. And yeah, of course we haven't seen the pipes yet of it, and it will be quite interesting to see when they will be finished this entire table, how does it look like. And yeah, currently you can see the welding is progressing and in process, sorry. So yeah, they are doing a quite good job with it, but still lots of work is left. But it's a quite big and yeah, quite big story to finish everything.
It's a large structure, let's be frank.
Yeah,
I got
and
some
quite
ground photos.
complicated.
I got some ground photos from the Y photographers. They were there at the site as always. Actually, you can see more photos usually on the What About It Patreon
Mhm.
channel. If you want to support the channel, that's one way of doing it, and in return, you get crazy good photographs. So you can see a human to scale. I mean, look at that. This is mega. This is huge.
Like a building.
Exactly, like a small bunker. And the whole plan is that this is gonna be swappable, changeable.
Mhm.
So they use one. Let's just imagine, guys, that they build quite a few of these, and then there is one launch. Let's say they have five of them, two of them, three of them, whatever. They put one in. It's like a chunk. They use the SPMTs. They transfer one over. They put it on the launch pad. Launch happened, SPMT goes under, take one out, replacing with the other one, boom. Next day you launch another one, or a week later. I mean, this is already so much improvement if you compare to the OLM, the old OLM, the existing OLM. That's that's the right step towards again fast and rapid sort of launching cadence. So yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, of course, and we all know that it requires a lot of time to build it. But once they have at least one table, then they can start to collect and
Hmm.
yeah, collect data from it, and they can have even more improvements, and maybe they can just reduce the build time for the second or third or fourth. I don't know how many
Yep.
tables will be built, but that's the first prototype of it, of all of them, and that's why they just build it from our eyes a bit slow. But of course there are lots of progress, and because we can see only from outside, and there are lots of work from inside,
Indeed.
and of course we can't see any the every details of it. But yeah, the yeah, the improvements is yeah, we can see it from the top of it.
Hmm. Indeed.
So
Also, let me just
again,
show you quite a few photos because, again, the Y photographers are doing an incredible job. Just how tidy Starbase is. We've been there 2020 summer, and they only had
2022.
sorry, 2022 summer. Yeah, thank you. The car park. So this car park was not there. The high bay was there. One of the mega bay was there.
Hmm.
There was no Mega Bay 2, and then the Star Factory was nothing like this. This is something out of ordinary. From above, I mean, look at this. This is tidy as hell. This is a proper factory, and if we glance inside, again, the guys took some incredible photos. We can see multiple Starship second stages are in um, currently under progress of building.
Maybe
Um,
until 38.
30.
Yes, maybe until ship 38.
Yeah,
So
so
five more
so so
ships.
33 is going to fly right now,
Yeah.
well, soon. 34, 35, 36,
Hmm.
37, and 38. That's
They don't skip
five.
anything right now.
Yeah, this is incredible. Yeah, you can see some welding robots there. You can see another ship nose cone, and then another ship nose cone. Yeah, it's incredible. It's truly magnificent. And to be fair, I think this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of really them ramping up production cadence, and yeah, they have big plans, and for those big plans, you need that factory.
Yeah, so from outside, the Star Factory seems to be ready, but of course from inside, it's totally different story because they have to install everything. So the whole chain, the whole production chain has to be installed, and it takes time, of course. But as you can see, in terms of the nose cone production, they start to mass production already. So and maybe it's valid for the barrel sections as well, but they, since they are not so high, then of course we can't see from the outside, or not we, but the photographers at Starbase. But in case of the the barrel sections, these 4-ring sections, I guess they are quite rapidly going out from the to the mega base. So that's why we can assume that this mass production is improving all the time.
Okay, we got a question regarding Pet B, but let's just talk first about Pet B. Again, these are very recent photographs, and Pet B is taking shape, and it's looking very nice. They are digging before pouring concrete.
Yeah, the subway construction is on. Of course, it was a joke. So yeah, compared to the last flyovers, it doesn't seem to be too much progress. But yeah, believe me, they are progressing quite nice. But they have so many things to do, and this digging digging work is so huge and so complicated. Then that they require time for it. And but you can see there are already 2 levels deep. If Sabi, you can just zoom in a bit for the piles. There is in the middle a bit darker line, as you can see on the these
On the right
piles.
or
Yeah,
here? Here?
anywhere. There is a long dark line in the middle of the these piles. Just go a bit right, please.
Yep. Not entirely
And
sure what you mean.
okay, stop. And there is a dark line in the middle of the
Yeah, that's the shadow.
I mean on the
Joking.
top. On the top line. Okay,
Yep.
never mind. We haven't
I
prepared it.
no.
Okay, never mind. Forget it. Then
Do,
but
do
you can
you
see
mean
there is
this bit? This bit?
yes, yeah. And
Okay,
there
the
is
wall. Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry,
Let's
our
say the
language
wall.
barrier.
That's why I talked about the piles, but maybe you
Yep.
didn't understand. But okay, let's say the wall. Okay, and you can see it's it has even more depth, and it's getting even more and more deeper. But it takes time.
Yep.
And yeah, maybe until they didn't laid down every pipes and every connections, they don't want to dig everything, because that's maybe it would just bit make the strongness, or yeah, this whole digging is a very complicated thing. I don't want to go into the details because I'm not an engineer, but they want to go step by step. Let's say that.
They are already pouring here some concrete on the side. I
Yeah,
can
because
see.
you can see around the corner there are the pipes already laid down, and they have finished this installing, and that's why they can now have this this concrete work. And I guess
This
when they are
this
finished with it, they can finish the digging.
this bit on the left. This is gonna go continuing, right? This piping with that
Yes.
channel that they dug
Do we
up.
have another
That's
photo, maybe?
not
Because
sure. I do have no, no. I just only have it from a different angle,
or
and
if you
I
just
have.
going back to the
Give
whole
me a
area.
sec. This
Yeah,
one
you
probably.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can see there is a big construction in the middle of
not
the
good,
new
but
area,
yeah.
and that's the pipelines coming through from the tank farm above, and they are just driving through the entire launch site, and they are connecting with this new pad B section
Because
what we have seen.
because of the new plans, according to the new plans, this one tank farm is going to supply both pads.
Right.
So they're not building a separate tank farm for the pad B, but instead they extended the tank farm, and that will supply both of the launch towers.
And there are already more subcoolers installed, and at the Sanchez there are even more to be installed, so it will be a quite huge extension. So not exactly the tank farm extension, but the other other system improvements, because of course they need, or they require subcoolers to running through the entire system quite in a huge volume and quite low temperature, and that's why they need even more subcoolers.
Hmm. Hmm. Cool. There was a question from Roman. By
Okay.
the way, he said that also that Hyperloop from Hawthorne to Starbase confirmed.
Okay.
Not sure of that. On flight 5, we saw that the booster can be lowered on the mount with no alignment pins. Will the OLM for Pad B have these alignment pins? If so, will they be integrated or removable like on Pad A? I
No clue.
my uneducated guess is that they want to simplify everything, and probably this is one thing as well that they want to get rid of. On the pad A, that was necessary to apply the alignment pins, but they as he mentioned, they lowered the booster without the pins were in place.
Mhm.
So I guess, again, we don't know, but I guess they want to get rid of alignment pins completely. They just want the whole system be able to operate without any of these aids, I think.
Yeah, so it was, I guess, or in my opinion, it was only because of safety reason. So the
Hmm.
booster could stand quite stability. So the stability of the booster was quite good after the catching, and as we could see, without alignment pins, it could have still the strength or the stability, and that's why I think so that with the improvements of the pad B table, they won't require anymore any alignment pins, because maybe the depth of this table will be quite enough to have even more stability for the booster if once the these Mechazilla arms will be just catching, and they just put inside the table. So when we just can we go back to the Sanchez launch table photo? So you can see it's the depth of the inside round area is quite huge. So that's why I'm thinking so that the booster is sitting even bigger part with the bottom of the booster. It's
Hmm.
even bigger compared to the pad A, and that's why I think so that it won't require any more
Hmm.
stability these alignment pins anymore. But only that's my opinion.
Hmm. One more thing we didn't talk about when it came to Pad B is the chopsticks, because they are about to install them. We know because there is this red frame near Pad B.
Jig.
The jig, yes, they are using. This is what they're going to use. I don't think I have any photo of that. Maybe at the RGB photo. Let me just see if they have any of those. Let me see. Uh,
It's behind the tower, I guess.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
of
it's
course.
right there.
Why not?
Great.
But maybe on other photo we can see it better, but
I
maybe
I
not.
only have this one. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's it.
yeah. It's here. Uh huh. Cool.
Yeah, and that's the current situation, because there was the middle section was already installed, but because of the upcoming flight, they removed it. So they have the two columns standing right now, and this connection part has been removed
Hmm.
yesterday.
Hmm. Cool. So this is what we are waiting for. You can see there's a lot of scaffolding around these chopsticks, but definitely, I mean that they can get rid of it really quickly if they have to. So yeah, there's quite a few stuff left. So basically, I think we covered this before, but let's just mention real briefly that Florida, they have big plans for Florida, but they definitely need to see how the Pad B is going to operate. Probably they're gonna wait for a complete test of this pad, i.e., a launch. So definitely they need to finish it first, do some testing, do some static fires. Let's see how the flame diverter works, um, and then once this becomes okay, then probably we're gonna see towards probably what second half of 2025, um, some
Maybe.
sort of work in Florida, and probably that will give a go to the continuation of the construction in Florida, because that's sort of essential. But they need to see first if this design works, and that can only be done after Pad B is finished. So this year is going to be huge. They have 25 permission for 25 launches. Obviously that doesn't mean that SpaceX is going to launch 25 times in 2025, but they have the permission. It doesn't mean that they can just launch willy-nilly. Instead, they from 5 they maximized it to 25 launches. So every launch needs to go through the same licensing process unless they get a bulk license, just like we see for these suborbital flights. The past, what, 2 3 flights, they did not really have to apply for.
Two or
They
three,
had
I
the
guess.
Yeah, they had the bulk permission. If they don't change the hardware or the flight path or the flight profile too much, then they don't need to apply for another FAA license. So how many of the launches going to happen in 2025? That's a very good question. More the better, but they need the hardware for this, to be fair.
Yeah, and seeing these improvement of pad, this entire pad B or B's launch site, I guess they still need a couple of months to finish it. And once
Mm.
they are finishing, they have to start the tests, the ground tests, and of course after the first launch, maybe around the beginning of summer, but just a prediction of myself. And after that, they can just go or move to the KSC. Yeah, quote move to the KSC. Of course, they won't end the story of Starbase, but as it's a test site, not only for the Starship but for the Stage Zero as well. And that's
Mhm.
why they have to wait with the construction on the KSC, as Sabi mentioned, uh, for the datas from here for the Pad B, because otherwise they have to double work, and maybe they want to they want to skip uh, working double, because in case of the Starbase Pad A, they will require anyway a, a totally new launch pad as well, because I guess they will demolish the OLMA as currently planned, or not planned, but once Pad B is working, and if it's a good solution, then I guess it will be changed in case of the Pad A as well. But parallel with it, they have to start the construction or reconstruction at the KSC as well. So yeah, this 2025 will be quite quite full of with work.
Are you saying that there will be more concrete poured?
Yes, concrete
Most
pouring is
definitely.
good.
Let's take a look towards the end of this program to the live camera, because the What About It channel has a 24/7 view on Starbase, and that's something that we encourage you to watch every now and then. Just take a look at it, because that's a 24/7 feed, so you can take a look at what's going on at there at any time, basically. There we go. Here's the live feed of it. Yeah, we are waiting for ship 33 to arrive. If they want to launch on Friday, today, ship 33 must cut cords with the production side and make its way towards the launch site, because otherwise it's just not feasible. They have a planned wet dress rehearsal for Tuesday. Again, well, that's what we heard. Um,
But
and we
yeah,
will
sorry,
see.
one good
Mhm.
news that the transport stand has been moved to the Mega Bay 2 this morning
Mhm.
already. So that's a good sign already for the upcoming rollout. But
Okay.
of course, there is no roadblock time yet
Hmm.
when ship 33 will be rolled out, but yeah, it should have been already uh, at New Year's Eve with the first plans, but of course, as we can see, it never happened,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yep. Very important to highlight that this is not FAA. This is something that I think is really worth mentioning because a lot of people used to blame FAA for everything, for even the
Why
weather.
not?
Um, but this time around, this is completely on SpaceX. If SpaceX is ready, they can launch any single moment.
Mhm.
So at the moment, it looks like they are making the final preparations with Ship 33. Hopefully, it will be rolled to the launch site. They're gonna put on top booster. They're gonna do the wet dress rehearsal. Do you think it should happen? The
Yeah,
wet dress.
around any time. So
No,
today or
what I mean is that is it still necessary? Do you think it's still necessary for SpaceX to conduct the wet dress rehearsal?
I think so because as we mentioned all the time or more times, it's a totally new generation Block 2 version Starship. So that's why I think so that they require a weathers rehearsal. Just maybe just for the first and last time.
Yep.
Maybe they won't conduct it with the next ship, but with this first Block 2, maybe it's recommended.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's recommended to test at least
Understood.
once the
Yep.
entire Starship system.
Yep. Let's hope one day we can get back to Starbase because this is, I mean, just take a look at that site. I think we panned away, but that painting on the wall is it's fine. On the car park, that's super duper cool. I mean, what a way to welcome the people who
You
are
mean the
actually visiting.
Mars
Yeah,
painting? Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that's badass. That's just badass. There we go. That's the site. That looks so good. There was nothing like when we were there. There were still onion tents there. Just, just 2.5 years ago, this place was completely different, and
that was another era.
Ah, it changed so much. Okay, I think this is going to be the final words of this show. Thank you very much for staying with us today. We obviously it's a new year now. The holiday season is over. We are going to come back next week. This is a regular occurrence. We are here every Monday from 4 or it depends on where you are, but definitely we will be back. Just look for the link. We are trying to share it on the day before here on What About It Plus. If you are not subscribed, please do subscribe to this channel and also to the main channel. The main channel is on the rise. This is amazing how much why What About It is has grew last year. It's because of you. So thank you very much. Stay tuned every Tuesdays and Fridays. Felix is back with the regular episodes, and hopefully we are going to see a Flight 7 launch very soon. Thank you very much.
Hopefully this week.
Hopefully this week, exactly. Thanks for staying with us. Have a lovely week wherever you are. Enjoy all these informations and stay tuned. We see you next Monday. Take care.
Yeah, have a nice week and yeah, see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye bye.